evening. Welcome to Cryptid Crunch. I am your host, Willow Schuyler, and I'm just coming off Canada Day. Bike's gonna be up for a while in celebration. Um, so I am your Canadian host for the evening. Wow. This episode, uh, the Montauk Project. I went down the rabbit hole all day today. I will voice my opinions on it in just a moment, and I can't wait to hear what Kale has to say. So let's get started. It would play.
Hey, Willow, what's up?
Good. Keisha was just in here showing us her little baby. So I'm so excited that she will probably take your time, Keisha. Don't rush, but I can't wait for you to join us, and we're gonna keep you, Kale. That's the decision. the three of us hosting the show when she comes back. So, yeah, I don't know. Today was definitely interesting. I watched the Montauk Project movie, and I I kind of feel bad for my cat because she was right beside me watching it with me, and she's like, it looks like she was actually interested in some of the bits and pieces, and then of course like all the weird alien parts, and then I can see that her interest just kind of faded away. I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I love your cat is very entertained by us here. So
yeah, he just likes to hang out. Casper is kind of a social boy. Isn't that right?
Oh. So what did you where did your research take you on this journey?
So I watched a couple of the videos that you sent. I didn't make it to the full length 2-hour feature film, unfortunately, but it's interesting hearing some of the real research behind it. And I knew about some of the crossovers, the Philadelphia experiment. I don't know if you've done much research into that one.
I think we're going to have to, once I delve into that and figure out where this Montauk Project led to, because it also takes you on a journey to World War II and some experiments on a ship. So
yeah, like the time travel.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how much more time I want to spend on this, but at the same time, it's like, it's interesting, but at the same time, it's like kind of researching why people believe in the Flat Earth Society. Because there's moments of it's plausible, and then it just goes downhill really quick.
Right. No, it was blowing my mind because when he was like, we sent him from 1986 back to 1943. And I was like, what? How? I don't understand. And he was like, and then we had to keep the past versions of themselves from seeing themselves to keep from creating a time paradox. And I was like, what?
And then somehow L. Hubbard is intertwined in all this, and as well as Nikolai Tesla, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay, so
and it all goes back to the secret society. of
Yeah.
scientists funding all of the experiments. Trust me,
Uh,
all of my conspiracies are right up here in the vault.
yeah. But if you're a skeptic, you're part of the Illuminati and you're programmed. So, uh,
Well, we'll all be programs eventually with AI now, so it's gonna happen. They'll take us over. They'll just replicate us.
okay, so the Montauk Project is um, had inspired Stranger Things, and I like where it went. I like where like the sci-fi aspect of it, and um, this guy Preston Nichols, he has like a character based off him, which was one of the main scientists,
Mm-hmm.
and I I love Stranger Things because of how it has like like certain aspects of true life intertwined into the story. Um, but yeah, it's just this whole Montauk Project thing is just stranger than the show itself. So yeah, so Preston Nichols, he wrote a book called The Montauk Project, and he wrote a whole bunch of other books as well. I don't know. I feel like people in the chat may have read these books. This is definitely stuff before my time. I don't know if I am gonna read these books, but I don't know. But with it, he wrote these with a guy named Peter Moon, who apparently knew L. Ron Hubbard and had I don't know if he still I don't know if he left the Scientology religion, but yeah, that speaks volumes of where
Yeah.
these guys' brains are. um, and it all took place in um, Montauk, New York, at an Air Force base, um, underground, and the story just it starts off plausible because it talks about kidnapping children and doing experiments on them. Now, we all know that actually happened in the 60s and 70s, where they did experiments on people with using LSD
Mm-hmm.
and
And
trying
Kale
to
stuff.
find ways to do mind and even in the 40s as well, Germany. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, they were trying to figure out how to do mind control people's minds, and this is where it's plausible. Kidnapping, kids from the street, doing these tests on them. I believe that this could have happened, where they they were drugging them and they were envisioning themselves in like alien spacecrafts, time traveling, and you know possibly doing all these weird thinking that they are moving stuff with their minds. And um, but the problem is not enough people have come forward. Remember, all the people who say that they were part of this project all have like these weird um, yeah, so weird stories to them that they're trying to make money off of people believing their stuff.
Mm-hmm. Or a lot of times back in the day with the drug experiments, they would use like the unsavory crowd, like a lot of homeless. They would offer them like a free meal and say, hey, we'll take care of you, come in here. And then they're getting drugged up and like experimented on. And then when they speak out, people are like, well, you're just crazy, you're just a crazy homeless guy,
Yeah,
we don't know what you're saying. So nobody believed him anyway, and their
yeah.
sources weren't credible because
There's no proof,
yep.
unfortunately. But as years came as years went by, we found out the Ultra stuff is real. Even the experiments, even up here with our indigenous people, there's records of people being experimented on.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where the plausibility is. And then you get into, well, I was on a spacecraft being probed by aliens. And it's just like,
not my worst Wednesday night.
cool story, bro.
Right? You know, it makes sense when you can hear like the thoughts and stories coming from the minds and imaginations of the children, but then also like the adults. It's like, I don't know. So much
Yeah.
comes from this, and then you don't know what's credible because you don't know if it's really them and their fabrication or if it's the drugs. You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Although, like, I've been seeing pictures of like the area of Montauk, and like and the Air Force Base itself. Although I'm not really seeing much as far as a landing strip go, but a lot of it is underground tunnels,
Mm-hmm.
and people like are exploring like the tower itself, um, and finding all these interesting like computer components and stuff like that, which, you know, great if it's actually what it is, if it actually was an Air Force base,
Right.
um, you know, where it, like there's no really anything to it anymore. It's just outdated computer stuff, and also now the underground tunnels have all been filled in with concrete. So yeah, that's questionable.
Right.
But, so we got a lot of people in our chat. Dan Hollyfield, hello. Donna Carleen, hello, hello.
Good evening, everyone.
And then, of course, our thing during this broadcast, you can support our page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps us earn money and makes it easier to create great entertainment for you. So if you guys feel the need to please like and share this video if you're here watching live, and if you're watching on the rerun, please share this with your friends, because we like to hear. We would love to know your opinions on this as well. And Carl, Carl Witzman is in the chat. Oh, thank you. I'm not gonna lie, kind of banger intro. Much appreciated. Although I didn't make it. Thank you, Johnny, for making it. Yeah, this was a huge rabbit hole to go down. Donna with Not Spooky Sweet Baby. Yeah, I'm excited to get to know this child, Keisha's baby. Eli T. Cash is in the chat. If the Montauk Project is known to a lot of people, then is it really a secret, or is there something more ominous behind the curtain? I feel like, okay, so it may have been played out more so in the 90s when people were writing their stories and trying to create their cults around it. I'm trying not to mention too much about that, because the guy is known to be a creeper when it comes to trying to find people who are talking about him.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, and he has a tendency to sue people if you say anything wrong about him. So I'm trying very hard to keep my distance away from that side of the story. But yes, there is a little bit of a cult following with that guy. uh, okay, so Dan with I'm using the Philadelphia experiment in a story I'll be writing sometime in the future. Ooh. Oh, I should have invited you on the show. I'm sorry, Dan. Um, uh, Carl with knowing L. Ron Hubbard, there goes all his credit. Exactly. That's exactly how I felt when I read that. It's like as soon as L. Ron Hubbard's name was mentioned, and Scientology, and I just I really was hoping that there was something to this, to all this. But
yeah. I mean, it's interesting how they were saying that he had the ability to psychically summon up the creature, and I'm just like, show me proof. Where's the creature? This is what obviously they based the Demogorgons on.
Yeah. Okay, I had a picture of the creature that apparently the Montauk monster that apparently
right. Yeah, because he's our
washed up
the Montauk monster. Because don't get me wrong, humans are bioelectric. I mean, as we sleep, we produce electricity, about 100 watts. Like, we could power a couple of light bulbs, but like summoning an entire being, as much as I want to be a witch and I want magic to be real, I need to see proof that these experiments were conducted successfully.
Yeah. And there's one theory of it being a raccoon.
Raccoon.
There's but
rabid little trash panda.
But I took a look at one of the pictures, and it actually kind of, to me, it kind of resembled a boar. So, of course, Reddit, you're gonna give me a small picture. Okay, it's from Reddit. It's true. It's true if it's on Reddit, right? I swear I'm a professional when it comes to this show. Oh, that's a very blurry picture. I apologize. I will see if I can find a better picture, but to me it looks like a boar, like a skinless boar. So I'm thinking maybe it was underdeveloped and it died right after birth.
It was probably one of the animals they were testing and experimenting on in the laboratory.
Right, we're supposed to make this plausible for people who believe this stuff, right? I keep forgetting about that part.
Yeah, I mean, the poor thing, just who knows what kind of life it had. It was probably just begging for freedom, just trying to escape the lab, not attacking people.
See, and then of course, because I played Resident Evil since it came out in '98, it makes this more plausible that something like what happened in Resident Evil, an experiment gone wrong, escaped the lab.
Right.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Montauk would be the scene for for Resident Evil, because, well, secret government lab
Yeah, I mean,
underground.
besides the laboratory, they based it off of like Hawkins, Indiana. It was just a small town like that. Not much was going on in Montauk. I mean, besides multiple government experiments and kidnapped
It's a
children.
small town that is kind of on the coast and kind of out of the way of anything around civilization. So yeah, the perfect place
Right.
for that.
So it makes you think that if Montauk was the inspiration for Stranger Things, oh, I forget in season 4 they called what's their base out in the desert? They call it a special name. But they have that in the in the West Coast, but all over the United States, all of these underground facilities, just testing sites wherever. So Montauk is real. Other sites could be real everywhere else.
Yeah, and I'm sure this isn't the first time that they've had something like this in a secret government facility.
Oh,
People
I'm sure not.
people like when I lived out in Steinbach, which is a small town a small Christian town that I came from.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I there was a place called Bowville, and they made it. They packaged medication there, and that place is huge for a packing facility. It's a big place.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it has like all these weird tunnels and underground, and it's a if any place would have like secret or a secret organization doing experiments, it would be that place.
Right.
Winnipeg has its own like bases as well. That we have forts everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Old forts from the 1800s still sticking around. So, and then we have a couple of our military. Ooh, hey, Capion Barracks. I wonder if that's the reason why there's like so much going on. They've been saying that that Capion Barracks is a place that used to house the Canadian military,
Mm-hmm.
a branch off of our Canadian military, and they moved them up to Shiloh, up north. Um, the Capian
West.
Shiloh, sorry. Anyway, I don't know my directions. So anyway, so Capian Barracks has been sitting idle for many years because we're not sure if we're gonna, if the government's gonna build onto it or if we're gonna give it back to the Aboriginal. So it's just sitting idle, gated. Nothing has been happening with this. Now, with this whole secret government agency doing experiments, now I'm curious. What's going on at the Capian Barracks?
Yeah.
And why hasn't anything been happening with actually building homes on this place?
Who's to say nothing is happening behind closed doors?
Well, they were pretty quick at getting rid of some of the buildings that one of the buildings that they had literally just renovated. So now I'm questioning that.
Right.
Oh yeah, Area 51 is another huge thing. But see, didn't we have like information about aliens that was supposed to be brought to light as of recent. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah. I thought there was like a video or something. I can't remember. That was a couple weeks ago. And then there was a whistleblower who was he was on his deathbed, and he claims that he was there and they told him to cover up the stories and say that it was, you know, just an aircraft and things like that, and that it really was extraterrestrial. So I don't know if it's credible, but he's trying to say that they really were making him keep it hush hush his entire life, which I believe. But I don't know. I feel like if they had a secret that big, if you're the government, you would just kind of anybody who had, you know, you don't keep loose ends.
Okay, Eli has a good point here. Something about flat earthers and such. They seem to hijack this sort of thing to inadvertently discredit topics such as Montauk and Philadelphia experiment. I don't think it's the skeptics I'm concerned with. It's the hardcore believers that ruin it. Thank you. Thank you. As far as skeptics go, we try to find ways that, well, at least me anyway, I try to figure out ways that this is a plausibility. And the more that I go down the rabbit hole, the more it's like, okay, you're not proving me, you're not giving me substantial proof that this is real. Like any of the time travel, any of the alien stuff, the more it's just a story. Mm-hmm. It's just a really well fabricated story.
Well, you know that supposedly the Philadelphia experiment, we have this ship that, you know, we pass it back and forth with them every 10 years to study the technology. The last time we did it was in 2014, and the energy surge was so large it caused the Ohio blackouts. So 2024 is coming up, lady, and we're gonna have some kind of big event when we pass this ship back from the aliens to study the technology again. So get ready. I'm predicting it now.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on the feed and see if anything does come up.
We're gonna be like Sam and Dean and the Winchesters looking for all of where the energy surges. Where this one, the West Coast. Where's the blackouts?
Yeah. You know, and the funny thing is, like, if and when we do prove that aliens do exist, I kind of want to I kind of want to believe that they are real, but at the same time, it's like, you know, in my mind, I have created like this fan theory that Earth has been used as like a drop-off point for aliens to just like kind of kick off their you know, their thieves, their unwanted. And kind of it's like what we did with Australia. You know, we allowed them to create their own lives on Australia, but like they used to be, you know, people that were in jail.
Right. No, I'm with everything that is going on in the universe, it's impossible to think there isn't intelligent life out there. And I think you're right on track. There's more intelligent life out there, and we're the rejects. They got we're the recyclable planet.
We tried to get off the planet, but shit just keeps going wrong.
So, you know, we try. We're gonna make it one day.
Oh. But yeah, Dan with the actual ship from Philadelphia experiment story legend was sold to the Greek Navy in the 1960s. Interesting.
That's what they want you to think, Dan. The aliens have it right now. We're gonna get it next year so we can study them technologies. Every time I'm watching an Avengers movie and they make the ship go invisible, that's all I think about. I'm like, this is what we got from the aliens.
Yeah. Keisha's in the chat. Hi.
Hello,
Hello,
Keisha.
beautiful people. We miss you, and we hope you're doing. We hope that you take care of yourself very well. So
yes.
make sure that you come back to us healthy. Yeah. Okay. So that's the Montauk monster. I saw the same photo claimed to be a monster in central Mexico and Guatemala. And yeah, Donna with this farmer's daughter says it's a pig, something wrong with it, but definitely a pig. Thank you. I'm glad that I'm not the only one. It just it doesn't look. Sorry, again, I will try to find a better picture, but it doesn't look like a raccoon. It's too big to be a raccoon.
Right. Yeah, I believe that would be a pig, like, running around. And especially if you're in, like, a laboratory and it's just kind of wild and running around. And if it's been experimented on and pigs squeal, I mean, that would kind of sound horrifying. An experimented on little pig squealing in anguish, running around. Yeah, it would be like a monster to me. Kind of nightmare fuel.
I'm just like there is like pictures of what people are claiming as the Montauk monster, but it's like in a different state.
He traveled.
So on Staten Island, apparently it showed up on. And this one definitely looks like a boar. You can see the tusk. That's a boar. You can see the pig's feet, the tusk. It's a boar.
Yeah.
So sorry, I had to debunk that theory, guys. But but you know me, I'm always trying to find the proof behind his certain situations, and
yeah.
So yeah, like if it was an experiment gone wrong, then
I mean, the one foot looks like a pig's foot, but the other foot looks weird. Like they were doing an experiment to like make it like a half human. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of looks like it's AI, like AI.
Right? I'm just saying, with the above surface laboratories that we have, with just, it's not as common nowadays, cosmetic companies just testing on animals and things like that. It's wild to think about what happens underground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you get on the internet and you just see people like, oh, this is a banana we made from like human skin cells or something like that. And I'm just like, what? What are you doing? Like, what is the purpose for this? Just because you can? So it's just, I mean, I think that the imagination, there's just no limit, and people are going to try to push that. Whether we should.
I look forward to like reading more stories of like theories and stuff like that. But that again, that's all it is. All the Montauk myth is just that myth, and until until they actually go down and figure out a way to get down to it to these secret levels that has been filled in. I don't think we'll know what actually went on in that place.
Right.
But I don't know. Um, I mean, I can see them doing like when they decided to uh, get like get out of the facility and close everything down. Although I don't understand why the satellite is still up. I can see why they filled in some of the holes so that people won't go down in the tunnels and get trapped. But yeah, again, why is the satellite dish still up?
What signals is it receiving?
and and can it actually still be used as a tracking beam?
I wonder, because there's a lot of urban explorer groups and stuff. I wonder if that place gets explored. I mean, there has to be people that try to get past the concrete and into the tunnels, unless they have it guarded, like they keep Area 51 guarded. But I mean, why would they keep it guarded if there's nothing there to hide or keep specially hidden? You know what I'm saying?
That's just it. Like, I don't think Montauk is guarded at all, because there's urban explorers constantly going into that place, and there's photos of what the place looks like inside.
Mm-hmm.
Just the only problem is, like, it definitely looks abandoned. It looks like it's been ransacked.
This is my next trip. Search for the Montauk Monster.
Although, like, I don't know. Oh, there's probably a back door. There's like people have gone into like the bush area and found like all these different tunnels, tunnel entrances and like hatches in the ground. So, but some of them are either filled with water or filled up with cement. So,
mm-hmm.
Unless these hatches are actually wells, I don't know.
Right. That's wild.
But it's again, it's a good story. I do believe that there is a plausibility of there being experiments happening in that place. I don't know how long I should have actually looked more into that part, but I'm not sure how long it was actually used as an Air Force base. But again, it didn't, from the pictures, it doesn't look like there's much of a landing strip for planes to be landing there. I mean, it looks like there's a hangar, an old hangar, and it was used as a military base at one point.
Maybe a helicopter could get in there, but
yeah, I don't know.
That was just the cover. This is our Air Force base with no Air Force, nowhere to put the plane. Yeah, this is a great cover, guys.
To me, it looks like a really small base. It just like a little place where maybe it was just like used for an overnight for the military along their travels. I don't know. But I don't know. It's definitely there is that plausibility that that it housed a lot of like the military nerds.
Well, if you have a secret facility where you're sending your best and your brightest to experiment, I think you would kind
And
of want the military nerds.
uh, speaking of Air Force, apparently today is the anniversary of Amelia Earhart going missing.
Hmm.
So that that's interesting. Um,
That's very cosmic.
yeah, I think I should have used that as for today's topic. I didn't know that it was the anniversary until it popped up on my screen, and Google likes to send me these little images of what it's celebrating or what the theme is.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt I need to worry unless that radar just starts rotating again. I would really like to know if that thing could actually work as a working satellite dish,
Right.
like as it is right now. It probably needs some work, but I
Would
wonder
be
what
like,
kind of channels you can get.
what channels? It'll be like, stay tuned. You get too close to it, you get sucked in. Where's the remote? Where's the remote?
Oh yeah, considering what supposedly went on there, they really were they really the best? Wow, I can't read today. I'm sorry. Were they really the best and brightest?
None of ours are the best and brightest. We're the recycled planet. Didn't you hear us?
Oh well, I'm guessing it's the people that work for Twitter right now. So.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's where Elon Musk has people staying. Oh.
We're gonna post this episode. It's gonna immediately get taken down. They're gonna be like, "You can't release these secrets. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to conspirate this much."
Well, if the show goes missing in a couple of weeks, you know what happened.
Right.
If it gets taken off, if it gets taken off YouTube, you know that there's an issue. But I doubt. Well, I doubt Facebook would flag it.
Right.
You know, seeing how they like to have these conspiracy theory stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Carl has the skeptic theory is that they were looking for Soviet submarines and drones.
Mm. Yes, they were experimenting on people, and the whole point was that they were trying to be able to locate them without being physically there. I mean, exactly like Stranger Things, you know, how she was trying to hear them, but I don't know how exactly real life they were trying to imitate it, you know. Doesn't really say.
No, that's the thing. Like it doesn't like it goes into all the little things that I've looked up. It kind of touches on yes, we tried doing experiments on people to see how to develop their psychic abilities,
Mm-hmm.
And it says it. The one guy, the in the interview there on the movie that I saw, he was saying that they did a lot of experiments on the guys more so than any girls.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when it comes to kidnapping or the homeless or whatever, you just offer them a sandwich or whatever, and they'll or a place to stay.
Yeah.
They're more willing to go with you more than a girl is. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense. Women are obviously going to be like, this seems sus. But a dude, I mean, is going to be like, oh, sandwich, free sandwich? Yeah, let's go. I
And then there's me. It's like, you have a facility where there's cats? I'll be there.
Right. They would have to promise me, like, where's the Halloween stuff? And I'd be like, sure, let's go. It doesn't seem creepy at all. No, I think because when I was reading about it, I was just like, okay, enhance the psychic abilities. And I think that the Duffer Brothers really did an amazing job bringing that to cinematic visual experience, because with 11 and the electrodes on her head and crushing the cans and the radios and, putting her in her mind and the black screen and stuff like that, I think it just kind of puts it all into perspective of like what that actually was and how they were trying to do that and make that power happen. But yeah, I think that they did a good part of like showing her with the electrodes and stuff like that, because I was like, how would they exactly do that kind of experiment? Like in real life, like what are you trying to do? I mean, I get that that's like enhanced for cinema. We can't really hear people's thoughts, but I'm just thinking, okay, you've kidnapped and lured a man with a sandwich. You've drugged him up. Now what are you going to do? Shock him? You've got the electrodes on him. Like, how are you torturing this man to try and create his psychic abilities? You know what I'm saying?
In the interview with the movie that I saw, the guy did mention that they use the hormone that fear creates. And they try to use that to power the psychic ability.
Okay, so they just scarecrowed these guys.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Which kind of is funny because they kind of touch on that with Firefly and Serenity, with River, and trying to create her psychic ability and being more stronger and taking out certain parts of her brain so that she is constantly, reading the room and being able to tell people what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, I get it. They're all scared to death. They're all drugged up. They're trapped underground in a facility. The Montauk monster was a pig, and the lab assistants got drunk one night, set it loose, and said, let's watch all the patients freak out. Like, they were just having a fun Saturday night.
And the
poor people.
And the satellite was their main way of controlling the townspeople's minds.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Their theory is just all over the place. There is no main, and when it's just three guys talking about what happened, and all of them have different paths, take you on different paths of what happened. Maybe a few of them can corroborate their stories together, but just it's a mess.
Well, and here's the thing: is that if they really were, drugged up and things like that, all of their perceptions are going to be altered. So they're not going to have any stories that are cohesive. It's not going to be like, the Scarberry reports and things where all 5 people had the exact same account. They're everybody's perception of reality was altered. So in their mind, everything, all the events that were playing out were happening differently at once. So version 1 was a different story, version 2 was a different story, version 3 was a different story for all 3 men, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll never know the real story because it's like, well, he was purple with giant teeth, and no, he was yellow with small teeth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just a he said, and I think that's how the government wanted it.
Yep. And the thing that bugs me about this is Preston Nichols. Okay, he actually says that he was one of the guys that did the experiments on these kids.
Mm-hmm.
How are we viewing this guy as a hero?
Yeah, like who it makes that claim and is like okay with it? You know what I'm saying?
Like, how shouldn't have the government have, or like someone, charged him for, kidnapping?
Right? He's like, yeah, I did the experiments on those kidnapped kids that we knew now are kidnapped, but we're cool with it.
I, I'm flabbergasted when it comes to this story, because it's just like these guys, they say that they were part of this, but it's just nothing went as far as, like the police, looking into any of this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I mean, you pick a town like Montauk, it's as small as it is, you probably pay to own the police right out as soon as you get there. I mean, honestly.
And there must be a lot of homeless people in that town.
Right? Such a small town with a small population. Their economy is in the toilet. The government shows up. Thank goodness they opened this testing facility. Because what are we going to do with all of the homeless running the streets of Montauk? We're going to give them sandwiches and drug them up.
I mean, okay, New York is a big place too, but it's just they could have gotten their homeless from all over New York, but at the same time, it's just there. Montauk, it seems like a very weird town to live in. Like, there's not much going for it as far as like it's a fishing town. So shouldn't there be like more to it as far as the fishing industry?
Right.
I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be a booming fishing town, but it just seems like it's more of a tourist area than it is, you know. It's just a quiet small town that has like a few tourist seasons here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. the story is interesting. It's great for sci-fi, but the plausibility of it being true for the teleportation or going back in time travel and all that. Just that's all it is. It's a story. Final thoughts, Kale?
I would like to have seen proof. Some sort of hardcore proof, but it just wasn't enough for me. I mean, in next year, 2024, we'll see what kind of huge energetic blackout that we have once we pass the ship back. I don't know.
All right. So, this show has kind of gone off the wayside. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. I know I have a picture of my play here. Gonna switch. Okay, so On the 19th, July 19th, I am going to be in a play with the All About Theater group here in Winnipeg. We're doing the Winnipeg Fringe Festival. I will be portraying Henrietta, the Countess Henrietta, funding the all elite spy unit that I'm a part of. We are in La La Lunacy. It is a murder mystery. So it's a comedy. So I will make sure, I will try to do my best to record the show and host a live viewing of it one of these days.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my best with trying to memorize my lines.
Yes. The old theater adage, break a leg. Not really, though. Please don't.
And I'm going to attempt to have a French accent for it as well. So, what are you up to this for the next couple weeks?
Well, you know, it's 4th of July here in Indianapolis, so the fireworks have not stopped going off for the past 2 weeks already. They're going off right now. But other than that, I mean, after I got back from PopCon, I still have some stuff to post from that. I just been working nonstop and trying to recover from that every day.
All right. So make sure that if you do drink, make sure that you do not drink and drive, people. I want you guys to come back on in my chat in 2 weeks.
Everybody have a safe 4th and a wonderful, wonderful time.
All right. Kale, where can we find you on social media?
Creepy Kale on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to find me. I'm hiding in all the places.
And you guys can find me all over social media as well. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I don't use Twitter much. Twitter is not a place for news. Sorry, folks. Sorry to break it to you. Yeah, you guys have a great night, and thank you for joining us on this great adventure of with the Montauk Project.
We'll see you next time, hopefully.
Oh, yes.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
Pokemon love cereal. Hi, I'm Krayley from Pokeballs by Krayley. You probably recognize me from appearing on various shows on the Cereal Box Network. For the month of July 2023, I will be running a very special collection. I am teaming up with the network to do a special breakfast-themed collection. So go to KrayleyVaness.com, and featured right there on my store page is the breakfast collection, because Pokemon love breakfast. Most of them love it as much as Pikachu likes that ketchup bottle. You know what I'm talking about. So again, that's KrayleyVanest.com. Or you can hit the link in the description wherever you're finding this video.